Amazing bald eagle facts. Why they're so special. Intro and hook. It's an image burned into the mind of a continent. A flash of white and dark brown, a silhouette of pure power and grace slicing across a vast, open sky. It's the symbol of a nation, a titan of the skies, and an icon of wild, untamed freedom. The bald eagle. For centuries, this magnificent bird has commanded our respect and awe, representing the pinnacle of aerial dominance. But what if I told you that its iconic, blood-curdling scream, the one that echoes through countless movies, is a complete Hollywood lie? And what if I told you that its name, the bald eagle, has nothing to do with being, well, bald? Stick around, because we're diving into the extraordinary world of one of nature's most revered creatures. We're about to peel back layers of myth and legend to uncover the stunning truth about the bald eagle. This story goes way beyond a simple national emblem. It's a tale of incredible biological engineering and physical prowess that borders on unbelievable. It's a story woven into the very fabric of North America's history. And it's the dramatic, emotional saga of a species that was pushed to the brink of oblivion, only to stage one of the most remarkable comebacks in conservation history. Prepare to discover the amazing facts that make the bald eagle so special. Part 1. The physical powerhouse. Before we can even get into the cultural weight the bald eagle carries, you have to appreciate what a biological marvel it is. This isn't just a bird, it's a perfectly honed predator, an evolutionary masterpiece millions of years in the making. Its physical abilities aren't just impressive, they're a showcase of nature's ability to create the ultimate avian hunter. The apex predator's toolkit. Let's start with the eagle's formidable weapons, its beak and talons. The beak, a sharp, hooked crescent of keratin, is a multi-purpose tool of incredible strength. It's used for tearing into prey with brutal efficiency, but it's also delicate enough to feed tiny morsels to newly hatched chicks. But the real source of its hunting power is in its feet. A bald eagle's talons are terrifying. 4 massive, razor-sharp claws extend from thick, powerful toes. The rear talon, the hallux, is particularly nasty, designed to puncture deep and end a struggle quickly. But the power isn't just in the sharpness, it's in the grip. A bald eagle's grip strength is estimated at a bone-crushing 400 pounds per square inch (psi). That's a grip so powerful that once it locks on, escape is nearly impossible. To help with that, the bottoms of their toes are covered in rough bumps called spicules, which act like tire treads for snatching a slippery, writhing fish from the water. It's a specialized adaptation that gives them a huge advantage. Once those talons lock, they're incredibly difficult to release, ensuring that caught prey stays caught. Then there's the bird's sheer size. Bald eagles are among North America's largest birds of prey. Their wingspan is a breathtaking sight, typically stretching between 6 and 7.5 feet. Like many birds of prey, they exhibit reverse sexual dimorphism, which is a fancy way of saying the females are significantly larger than the males, sometimes by as much as 25%. A big female in Alaska might weigh up to 15 pounds, while a male might be closer to 9 or 10. This size difference is thought to give them an edge. A larger female can lay and incubate bigger, healthier eggs, while a smaller, more agile male can be a more nimble hunter, keeping the food supply steady. This immense size, combined with its lethal toolkit, places the bald eagle firmly at the top of its food chain. It's a true heavyweight built for dominance. Fact number 1. A vision beyond human comprehension. We often use the term eagle-eyed, but that's a profound understatement. To say an eagle has good eyesight is like saying the sun is a bit warm. Their visual acuity is almost beyond our ability to comprehend. While a human with perfect vision has 20/20 eyesight, a bald eagle is estimated to have 20/4 or 25ths vision. In practical terms, this means an eagle can see with stunning clarity from 20 feet away what we'd only be able to see from 4 or 5 feet. This superpower stems from their massive eyes, which are roughly the same size as human eyes, packed into a bird that weighs maybe 10 to 14 pounds. These eyes have a much higher density of light-detecting cells. The human retina has a sweet spot called the fovea with about 200,000 cones per square millimeter. A bald eagle's fovea has a mind-boggling 1 million. It's like they see the world in 8K Ultra HD while we're stuck with standard definition. This allows an eagle soaring 1,000 feet up to spot a rabbit from up to 3 miles away. But it gets better. Eagles have 2 foveae in each eye. One gives them a massive 340-degree field of view. The other points forward, giving them incredible binocular vision and depth perception. Absolutely critical when you're diving at 100 miles per hour to snatch your lunch. They can also see ultraviolet light, which helps them track prey by following UV-reflecting urine trails. As a final bonus, they have a third, transparent eyelid called a nictitating membrane that sweeps across the eye like a windshield wiper, cleaning and protecting it without blocking their vision. Fact number 2. Master of the skies. The sight of a bald eagle in flight is a spectacle of effortless power. They ride thermal updrafts, rising columns of warm air, soaring for hours while barely flapping their wings. They can reach altitudes of over 10,000 feet, patrolling their territory from a commanding height. Their normal cruising speed is a brisk 35 to 43 miles per hour. But when they hunt, they enter a controlled, high-speed dive called a stoop, reaching speeds of up to 100 miles per hour. Imagine hurtling toward the ground at that velocity while keeping a target in perfect focus. This mastery is possible because their bones are hollow, making them incredibly light. The entire skeleton of a 14-pound eagle might weigh only half a pound. Their broad wings have slotted primary feathers at the tips that they can spread like fingers to reduce drag and increase control. But their flight isn't just for hunting, it's also for one of nature's most spectacular courtship displays. A bonding pair will fly high, lock talons, and tumble toward the earth in a spinning, death spiral, releasing their grip just before hitting the ground. It's an incredible test of trust and skill that solidifies a bond that often lasts a lifetime. Part 2. The ultimate architect. Fact number 3. The airy monument of nature. As if being a top-tier hunter wasn't enough, the bald eagle is also a master architect. Their nests, called eyries, are some of the most impressive structures in the animal kingdom. They are the largest nests of any bird in North America and hold the world record for the largest bird nest ever found. A pair will choose a site near a river or lake, picking the tallest, sturdiest tree available to get a clear flight path and a commanding view. Both the male and female build the nest, weaving together large sticks over a period of up to 3 months. Year after year, they return to the same nest, adding more material. An average nest is already huge, about 5 to 6 feet across and 2 to 4 feet tall. But they can get much, much bigger. Nests have been recorded at over 8 feet wide and 12 feet deep, weighing over 1,000 pounds. The largest one ever found, in St. Petersburg, Florida, was nearly 10 feet wide, 20 feet deep, and was estimated to weigh over 2 tons. That's more than 4,000 pounds. It was so massive it eventually broke the tree it was in. The inside, however, is lined with soft materials like grass and feathers, creating a warm, safe cradle for their young. Part 3. A symbol forged in history. The bald eagle lives a double life. One is a biological marvel, the other is a cultural icon. It's this second identity that elevated it from just a bird to a national treasure. The heart of a nation. The eagle's official rise to fame happened on June 20, 1782, when the Continental Congress adopted the Great Seal of the United States. The seal features a bald eagle holding an olive branch for peace and 13 arrows for war and the 13 original colonies. In its beak, a scroll reads, E pluribus unum, out of many, one. The choice was deliberate. The bald eagle was unique to North America, perfectly representing the new nation's independence. And historically, eagles have long been symbols of power and authority, famously used by Roman legions. Now, let's bust a popular myth. You've probably heard that Benjamin Franklin was outraged and wanted the wild turkey as the national bird. This isn't quite true. While he never officially proposed the turkey, he did complain about the eagle in a private letter to his daughter. He called the eagle a bird of bad moral character that was too lazy to fish for himself. He praised the turkey as a much more respectable bird. But this was just a private grumble. The eagle's place was already secure. A sacred messenger long before the United States existed, the eagle was deeply sacred to the indigenous peoples of North America. To countless cultures, the eagle isn't just an animal. It's a messenger to the Creator, a physical link between the earthly and spiritual realms. This reverence comes from its incredible abilities. Because it flies higher than any other bird, it's seen as living closer to the heavens, carrying prayers to the Great Spirit. Its amazing eyesight symbolizes clarity and divine vision. To be given an eagle feather is one of the highest honors a person can receive in many tribes, signifying courage and wisdom. These feathers are central to ceremonies and are treated with the utmost respect. This spiritual significance predates its role as a national emblem by millennia and remains vital in indigenous cultures today. Part 4. The brink of extinction and a triumphant return. The bald eagle's story in the 20th century is a harrowing drama of decline and an inspiring epic of recovery. It's a powerful lesson in how human actions can push a species to the edge, and how dedicated efforts can bring it back. The Silent Spring. When chosen as the national symbol in 1782, the eagle population was healthy, with estimates as high as 100,000 nesting eagles in the lower 48 states. But over the next 150 years, their numbers fell due to habitat loss and illegal shooting. In 1940, Congress passed the Bald Eagle Protection Act to help, but a far worse threat was coming. After World War II, the pesticide DDT was used everywhere. This chemical didn't break down. It washed into rivers and lakes, where it was absorbed by fish. As bigger fish ate smaller fish, the DDT became more concentrated up the food chain, a process called biomagnification. Eagles, at the top of this food chain, ingested huge amounts of it. The DDT didn't kill the adult birds directly. Instead, it interfered with their ability to produce strong eggshells. The results were catastrophic. Eagles began laying eggs with shells so thin they would break under the parents' weight. Generations were lost. By 1963, the population had plummeted to a shocking low of just 417 nesting pairs in the lower 48 states. The national symbol was on the verge of disappearing forever. A nation's resolve, the eagle's plight, became a wake-up call. Public outcry, fueled by scientists like Rachel Carson and her groundbreaking book Silent Spring ***, led to action. The turning point came in 1972 when the EPA banned the use of DDT in the United States. The next year, the Endangered Species Act was passed, giving the eagle and its habitat strict protections. With DDT banned and their habitats protected, the eagles began a slow recovery. Conservation groups monitored nests, protected land, and ran captive breeding programs. And it worked. The number of nesting pairs began to climb. In 1995, the eagle's status was upgraded from endangered to threatened. Finally, on August 9, 2007, the bald eagle was officially removed from the list of threatened and endangered species. The comeback has been a stunning success. A 2021 report from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service revealed the population in the lower 48 states has soared to over 316,000 individuals, including more than 71,000 nesting pairs. Its story is a living testament that we can reverse the damage we've done. Part 5. Lesser-known truths and myth-busting. For a bird so famous, the bald eagle is still surrounded by some stubborn myths. Let's clear a few things up. Myth-buster number 1. The bald truth. First off, why call it a bald eagle when it has a full head of white feathers? The name comes from an Old English word, piebald, which meant white-headed, or marked with white. So early English-speaking settlers were just being descriptive. That iconic white head and tail, by the way, don't show up until the bird is 4 or 5 years old. Younger eagles are a mottled brown and are often mistaken for golden eagles. Myth-buster number 2. The voice of a Hollywood imposter. This is the big one. The powerful, piercing scream you hear in movies? That's not a bald eagle. That sound almost always belongs to a different bird, the red-tailed hawk. For decades, Hollywood sound editors have swapped out the eagle's real voice for the hawk's much more intimidating cry. So, what does a bald eagle really sound like? Its actual vocalizations are a series of high-pitched chirps and whistles, which many people find surprisingly weak or gull-like for such a powerful bird. So next time you hear that classic eagle scream in a film, you'll know you're listening to a very talented, but much smaller, imposter. Conclusion. From its unbelievable vision to its mastery of the skies, the bald eagle is a masterpiece of the natural world. It's a biological powerhouse, a creature of immense strength, precision, and breathtaking adaptations. Its nests are monuments, its hunting skills are legendary, and its courtship displays are a spectacle of wild beauty. But the eagle is so much more than that. It carries the history of a continent on its wings. It's a sacred messenger, a national emblem, and, perhaps most inspiringly, a symbol of resilience. Its dramatic fall and triumphant return is an enduring story of hope, reminding us of our impact on the natural world and our ability to right our wrongs. The bald eagle is a stunning combination of raw power and deep cultural meaning. It's a living icon, a testament to the majesty of nature, and a soaring symbol of the wild spirit we must always strive to protect. Call to action: if you were amazed by the incredible story of the bald eagle, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into the wonders of the natural world. Now we want to hear from you. Have you ever seen a bald eagle in the wild? Share your experience in the comments below. What fact surprised you the most? Let's get the conversation started. Thanks for watching.
Title: How the Bald Eagle Made the Greatest Comeback in History *. Intro. It's the symbol of American strength, freedom, and resilience. A majestic flash in the sky that represents the wild spirit of a nation. For over 200 years, the bald eagle has been the living emblem of the United States. A bird so revered it was chosen as the centerpiece of the Great Seal. Its image is stamped on our money, carved into our government buildings, and etched into our collective identity. It's a symbol of endurance. But not that long ago, that symbolism was put to the ultimate test. Because in the 1960s, this icon was almost completely gone from the contiguous United States. It was poisoned, hunted, and pushed so close to the brink that its survival seemed impossible. By 1963, only 417 known nesting pairs were left in the lower 48 states. The symbol of America was dying, and for a while, it seemed like no one knew how to save it. This is the story of how the bald eagle faced annihilation and how a nation rallied to pull off one of the greatest conservation comebacks in history. Section 1. The Great Decline. So, how did things get so bad? For centuries, bald eagles thrived all across North America. But as the United States grew, the eagle's world began to shrink. Forests were cleared for timber and towns, wiping out vital nesting habitats along coastlines and rivers. For a long time, eagles were also seen as a threat to livestock, leading to widespread, and often legal, hunting. In 1940, Congress finally stepped in, passing the Bald Eagle Protection Act to make it illegal to kill or possess the birds. But the eagle's greatest enemy was still to come. And it was silent, invisible, and microscopic. After World War II, a new chemical miracle arrived in American life: DDT. It was a cheap, powerful pesticide used everywhere, from massive farms to suburban backyards. What nobody understood at the time was how this one chemical would send shockwaves through the entire ecosystem. DDT didn't just vanish after it was sprayed. It washed into rivers and lakes, where it was absorbed by tiny organisms. Small fish ate those organisms, and bigger fish ate the small fish. With every step up the food chain, the concentration of DDT got stronger and stronger. And at the very top of that food chain was the bald eagle. The poison didn't kill the adult eagles outright. Instead, it attacked the next generation. DDT messed with the eagle's ability to produce calcium, which is essential for strong eggshells. Females began laying eggs with shells so thin and brittle, they would crack under the weight of their own mother. Entire nests failed. Year after year, fewer and fewer eaglets hatched. The skies grew quiet. The population plummeted. Combined with habitat loss and illegal shooting, the chemical assault from DDT created a perfect storm. The American icon was on a fast track to becoming a memory. Section 2. The turning point. Fixing a crisis this big required a monumental response. The fight to save the bald eagle didn't start in the wild, but in laboratories and in the halls of government. The first hero of this story wasn't a park ranger, but a scientist named Rachel Carson. In 1962, her groundbreaking book, Silent Spring *, exposed the devastating impact of pesticides. She alerted the world to the dangers of chemicals like DDT, showing how they were silently poisoning our environment and its wildlife. Her work lit a fire under the public and became the foundation of the modern environmental movement. The science was undeniable. DDT was the smoking gun. The public outcry fueled by Carson's work led to unprecedented action. The turning point came in 1972, when the brand new Environmental Protection Agency banned the use of DDT in the United States. It was a landmark decision that cut off the poison at its source. A year later, another critical law was passed, the Endangered Species Act of 1973. This was one of the most powerful wildlife protection laws ever enacted, anywhere in the world. The bald eagle was one of the first species listed as endangered, giving it sweeping federal protections. Suddenly, it was illegal to harm an eagle or disturb its nest, and the law demanded that its habitat be protected. The DDT ban and the Endangered Species Act were the one-two punch that gave the eagle a fighting chance. But laws alone can't bring a species back from the brink. The real work of recovery was just getting started, and it would take decades of tireless effort from dedicated scientists, conservationists, and volunteers all across the country. Section 3. The fight for survival. With the laws in place, an army of heroes stepped up. State and federal wildlife agencies, along with private conservation groups, launched ambitious recovery programs. One of the most important strategies was captive breeding. Scientists would carefully collect eggs from the few healthy nests left in the wild and incubate them in labs, safe from the risk of breaking. Once the eaglets hatched, they faced a new problem. How do you raise a wild bird without it getting used to people? To keep the chicks from imprinting on humans, biologists used puppets designed to look like adult eagles to feed them. This clever trick ensured the young birds would recognize their own kind when they were finally released. At the same time, a painstaking reintroduction process began. Young eagles, either raised in captivity or brought down from the healthy population in Alaska, were taken to areas where they had vanished decades earlier. They were placed in special, hacking towers, big, enclosed platforms that let them get used to their new home. For weeks, they were fed and monitored without any human contact. Then, when they were old enough to fly, the doors were opened. For the first time in a generation, young bald eagles took to the skies in places like New York, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. The results weren't immediate, but they were steady. Slowly, carefully, the numbers started to climb. By the late 1990s, the population had rebounded in a big way. The fragile, brittle eggshells were a thing of the past, and eagles were successfully raising their own young in the wild again. It was a slow, quiet victory, happening one nest at a time, in river valleys and along coastlines all across the country. CTA. The story of the bald eagle proves that when we choose to act, we can reverse even the most devastating environmental damage.
It's a powerful lesson in hope and a testament to what we can achieve when we work together. If you believe these stories of conservation success are important and want to see more of them, consider subscribing. Your support helps us keep telling the stories of the incredible work being done to protect our planet's wildlife. Section 4. The triumphant return. The ultimate moment of success came on June 28, 2007. At a ceremony in Washington, D.C., the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service officially announced that the bald eagle was being removed from the federal list of threatened and endangered species. It took more than 3 decades of relentless work, but the mission was a success. From a devastating low of just 417 nesting pairs, the population had soared to nearly 10,000 pairs in the lower 48 states. But the story doesn't end there. The comeback has continued at a pace that has shocked even the experts. A 2021 report from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service estimates there are now over 316,000 individual bald eagles in the lower 48 states, including more than 71,000 nesting pairs. That means the population has more than quadrupled since 2009 alone. Once an incredibly rare sight, the bald eagle is now a regular feature in the American sky, from the coasts of Florida to the rivers of the Midwest and the mountains of the Pacific Northwest. States that once had 0 nesting pairs now boast hundreds. The bald eagle's recovery is considered one of the most successful and inspiring conservation efforts in history. It proves that with science, political will, and public dedication, a species can be pulled back from the very edge of extinction. Conclusion. Today, the bald eagle soars as more than just a national symbol. It's a living, breathing symbol of hope. It's a reminder that our choices matter and that the damage we cause can, with enough effort, be undone. But the eagle's story isn't over, and its future isn't guaranteed. New challenges are here. Lead poisoning from ammunition and fishing tackle is now a leading cause of death for eagles. As their populations grow, collisions with cars and power lines are becoming a bigger threat. And habitat loss remains a constant worry, as people and eagles increasingly compete for the same space. The same vigilance that brought the